Negotiating an SAP S/4HANA contract is not just a software deal, it's a long-term financial commitment. Whether you're migrating from ECC or implementing S/4HANA for the first time, what you agree to now could lock you into pricing, terms, and limitations for the next decade. SAP sales teams are experienced, aggressive, and trained to sell on urgency. That's why CIOs and procurement leaders need to go into S/4HANA negotiations with a strategy, not just react to SAP's sales pressure. In this series, we break down the top 10 SAP S/4HANA contract negotiation tips, the most critical areas where you can gain flexibility, cut costs, and avoid getting boxed into one-sided deals. Let's start with where most customers leave money on the table: migration incentives. If you're moving from ECC to S/4HANA, don't just accept SAP's quote, push for migration incentives. SAP is desperate to show cloud adoption and will often offer credits, extended support on ECC, or bundled pricing if you commit early. We've seen clients get thousands of dollars in migration credits or extended ECC support through 2030 as part of a RISE deal. But those offers are time sensitive. As the 2027 ECC End of Support deadline approaches, SAP's leverage increases and discounts shrink. So engage early, ask what migration incentives are on the table, and document them in the contract. Don't wait until SAP knows you've already made the decision. Your timing and your perceived optionality are your biggest weapons. The ECC End of Support deadline is a pressure point, but not just for you. It's leverage against SAP. Use it to secure long-term price protections before 2027. For example, negotiate caps on subscription price increases, no more than 3% annually. Secure fixed pricing on future user or module purchases. Lock in terms for at least 3 to 5 years. SAP will claim this isn't possible, but it is, especially if you negotiate when they're chasing Q4 revenue. The longer you wait, the more desperate you'll be, and the more SAP knows it. Use the timeline to your advantage while you still have ECC as leverage. RISE and S/4HANA cloud contracts are rigid by default. Fixed users, long terms, minimal reduction rights. That's a trap. Insist on flexibility. Demand the right to reduce users or reallocate subscriptions mid-term. At the very least, get a commitment that any new users are priced at the same discount rate, not at inflated list prices. Even if SAP resists, just asking shifts the dynamic. It tells them you're not a passive buyer. The more flexibility you secure now, especially around user growth, system modules, and usage tiers, the less trapped you'll be 3 years in when your business changes and SAP's pricing options narrow. Bundled cloud deals look attractive, but the fine print can cost you. Does the bundle include dev test environments, disaster recovery, VPN access? It's common for customers to assume it does, and then get hit with surprise bills. So dissect the bundle. Get every component listed in the order form, in writing. Then push for SLAs with teeth, uptime guarantees, response times, and service credits if SAP fails to deliver. And ask for the right to terminate if SLA performance falls below agreed thresholds. It's not just about the software, it's about the full service experience. And your SLA terms are where that experience is defined and protected. Never sign a cloud contract without an exit strategy. You don't want to be trapped at the end of your term with no access to your data or stuck renewing at 40% higher prices. Negotiate data access rights post-termination in a usable format for a defined period, e.g. 30, 60 days. Ask about perpetual license buyouts or hybrid options after the cloud term. If SAP won't budge, at least get a clause that lets you run your data in read-only mode after contract expiry. Exit flexibility equals negotiating leverage. And the earlier you get it in writing, the better positioned you'll be later when you want to walk away or renegotiate. S/4HANA. Go-lives are messy. User counts fluctuate. Engine usage spikes. And SAP knows this, which is why they often audit post-go-live and hit you with full list price for any overages. Your defense? Pre-negotiate a grace period. Ask SAP to hold off on audits for 6 to 12 months post-implementation. And negotiate fixed true-up pricing in advance, so if you do exceed usage, you're not stuck paying list price. This gives your team breathing room to stabilize and correct before facing penalties. It's fair, and SAP sometimes agrees, but only if you raise it up front. Indirect access is one of the most dangerous and misunderstood SAP licensing issues. If a third-party system, like Salesforce or a warehouse system, triggers SAP transactions, SAP might claim that counts as license use, even if users never log into SAP. Avoid this trap by clearly defining indirect access in your contract. Consider pre-buying a digital access document pack, or negotiating a fixed price per document or integration point. You don't want SAP showing up in 2 years demanding $2 million because your CRM system accessed S/4HANA. Deal with it now, in writing, while you have negotiation power. SAP will push you to commit quickly, using quarter-end discounts and innovation deadlines to rush your decision. Don't fall for it. Maintain leverage by signaling optionality. You might not be switching to Oracle or Workday, but SAP doesn't need to know that. Talk about ECC extension paths, hybrid hosting with hyperscalers, or evaluating third-party support. CIOs who negotiate best don't buy into SAP's artificial urgency. They slow the pace, ask smart questions, and create the impression they're willing to delay or walk away. That alone can shift SAP's tone and discount range significantly. SAP's standard contracts are long, dense, and heavily favor SAP, and many companies sign without legal or procurement weighing in until the last week. That's a huge mistake. Bring your internal legal and procurement teams in early. Review audit clauses, renewal terms, price protections, license flexibility, and transfer rights. Negotiate everything, including terms for divestitures or downsizing. You wouldn't sign a 10mm contract from any other vendor without legal input. Don't treat SAP differently just because it's technical. The details of the order form and TS&Cs will define your next 10 years with SAP. SAP wants you off ECC and onto S/4HANA badly. Use that to your advantage. If you're still on ECC, you hold leverage. SAP fears you'll delay migration, use third-party support, or pause investment. That fear drives discounts, bundled support offers, and longer-term incentives. Time your negotiation around SAP's sales calendar, quarter end or year end. And don't rush. Make SAP earn your business with price holds, term flexibility, and post-migration support guarantees. ECC's 2027 deadline is SAP's pressure tactic. Flip it. Make it your negotiation tool. SAP wants to push you into long-term, inflexible contracts. Fast. But if you negotiate smart, on your terms, you can secure future pricing protections, contractual flexibility, and support for your unique business needs. These 10 negotiation tips are built from real-world enterprise deals, and they've saved organizations millions while avoiding SAP's most common traps. Need help with your SAP S/4HANA negotiation or contract review? Redress Compliance helps enterprises worldwide optimize SAP contracts, reduce TCO, and negotiate from a position of strength. Contact us, subscribe now for more SAP negotiation strategies, cloud contract guidance, and software cost reduction insights.